Hey Reddit, what's your favorite way to eat potatoes? It's kind of amazing how much butter you can get into finely mashed potatoes. Fine dining restaurants use about a 3-to-1 ratio, 3 pounds potatoes, 1 pound butter. Ridiculous. Hash brown. Naked on a Saturday. So this is a TGI Fridays. Carne asada fries. Scallop with lots of sharp cheddar. As vodka. The classic Irish dilemma. Do I eat the potato now or let it ferment so I can drink later? Garlic mashed sun. What's not my favorite way to eat potatoes? Without the bone tbh. Poutine French fries covered in cheese curds and gravy. The French Canadians have entered the game. Roast potatoes. Home fries, with onions and peppers. With cheese, inside a pierogi. Latkes, motherfucker. L'chaim, bitches. Au gratin. I like them boiled or mashed. Maybe stick 'em in a stew. What's a potato? Never heard of them. Get the fuck out of my house. Not my favorite way per se, but the way that I just tried recently. Pickled potatoes. The Mexican restaurant on the corner serves pickled potatoes alongside their pickled jalapenos. I decided to give them a try. Sliced potatoes 1/4 of an inch thick and boiled them for about 10 minutes until they were edible but firm. I packed them in a jar with 50-50 vinegar/water and 2 tablespoons of salt. Other herbs and spices to taste. Used oregano, thyme and crushed red pepper. After a week in the fridge, they're a great beer snack. Also add carrots and jalapenos to the same batch for a variety of pickles in a single jar. One of the greatest dishes I've ever had at a restaurant was potatoes 3 ways, boiled, fried and pickled. Served with smoked sour cream and roe. With my mouth. I also choose this guy's mouth. Waffle fries with seasoned sour cream. My wife just made an amazing potato soup from scratch. So right now it's that. There's no bad way to eat potatoes. But I have a weird fondness for loaded tater tots. Hot crispy fries with a lot of salt and malt vinegar. Did you really just give yourself silver and be the first to comment? Bake it and put some butter, bacon, and cheese. Don't forget the sour cream, bro. Hashtag ra or fucking ra or woo. Waffle fries. They can be cheese covered, with ketchup, Chick-fil-A sauce whatever, and I love them more than any other potato product. Papa's fritas. Th barkhead. Loaded. Baked with chili, cheese, sour cream, chives, bacon, and more cheese. Whatney? Boil em, mash em, and stick em in a stew. So I make potatoes many ways, but here are my favorite 2, baked, but on the grill. I use a knife and poke holes through the whole potato. I then place the potato in enough heavy-duty foil to completely wrap it, bust loose. Then I take a half stick of butter per potato and place it around the potato. Then I bake it on the grill. The bottom gets crunchy, potato soft, butter browns as you like. Second way is mashed. 5 pounds. I quarter the potatoes, still with skins, and boil. Drain, then I add half a pound of salted butter, chopped, a block of the 1/3 fat cream cheese, the Neufchâtel, globbed. I prefer Philadelphia brand. I use this over cream cheese because it's more pliable and creamier than the cream cheese. And then a bit of heavy cream until I get the consistency I want, and fresh ground black pepper and salt to taste. Fried. Rough chop. Put them in a pot with hot oil, lid on for a while to cook through and get some color. I toss them a couple times to get color on all sides. Once it gets to 80% cooked, I throw in diced onions with a little salt and pepper. Sometimes a little more oil is needed. Stir once in a while to make sure color is nice. Once onions are transparent and potatoes are pretty much cooked through, I throw in a handful of cheddar cheese, and stir to mix. I cook for a little with the cheese to make it melty and get some more color. Then done. More of a breakfast type potato dish, but it's really good. Here's a real answer/recipe for you. Start with 5 pounds of russet or red potatoes. Cut them into quarters. Boil for 15-ish minutes. Drain. In a large mixer, combine the cooked potatoes, 1 stick of butter, 1 package cream, or Neufchâtel cheese, 5 to 10 cloves of freshly crushed garlic, a cup or so of ranch dressing, salt and pepper to taste. You can adjust the final consistency to make them even more creamy by adding a bit of milk, half and half, or cream. Best damn potatoes you will ever eat. Salty and soggy AF French fries, preferably from Wendy's. My girlfriend makes these amazing diced and fried breakfast potatoes and she seasons just right. Soft and crunchy, great with eggs and bacon. Long post here, but I have a true potato related story which endeared me to my future father-in-law. This happened in the spring of 1990. My wife and I started dating 6 months prior and the time came for the meet the parents dinner. Her dad was mostly Scottish/Irish and I knew he was very proud of his heritage which he researched regularly. This is important for later. Dinner was at their house. Her mom prepared a nice beef roast and oven roasted potatoes. Now, she's never been a good cook. Possible/edible food? Yep, but never, oh boy. Mom's cooking, insert you fav food here. I can't wait. That's kind of the common thought and joke in the family. But I didn't know that at the time. She severely overcooked the potatoes. We all know what happens when you do that. So I cut into the first of these potatoes as her mom and dad watched me. All the insides are missing and it's just a shell of a potato. It looks like that scene in the movie Christmas Vacation where Chevy Chase cuts into the turkey. I would swear a big puff of air came out. I saw her dad roll his eyes and mutter something under his breath. Definitely was embarrassed because this was our first sit-down dinner together. I tried to lighten the situation and said, "Oh look. Irish potatoes." With the famine built right in. To this day, I honestly don't know where that came from. It was just the first thought that popped into my head. He let out the biggest laugh I've ever heard from him over the 20+ years I knew him. He tipped his chair back and almost fell out of it. My future wife did the same, turning red from laughing, not embarrassment. We all laughed so hard, for like 15 minutes and they were crying. It was just an offhand comment, not meant to pass judgment. But it worked on multiple levels because it was a funny comment about the potatoes and seemingly, her mom's cooking. Had a nice meal after that. But that episode endeared me to him and put me square in his camp after that, especially when it came his wife's cooking, or so I let him think. Mashed is my go-to, some type of dairy like butter, sour cream, milk etc. I like more stiff mash, so I don't go hard on liquids, seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic, paprika, and making them from baked potatoes is much better than boiled or steamed. But I occasionally make potato croquettes at work that everyone loves, basically the same recipe as my mash, but I let the mash cool, mix in an egg, wrap it around either a cube of cheese or some frozen gravy, beef with salt, pepper and garlic seasoning to match the mash, coat in seasoned flour, egg wash, eggs plus buttermilk made for the best coating from testing, and then panko breadcrumbs which I am mixing in some parmesan but I haven't decided if that makes a massive difference, then frying for either 4-5 minutes in our deep fryers, using beef tallow at about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. For the cheese ones, the gravy ones take closer to 8 minutes to get past the weird half-cold stage, but then immediately become molten lava and keep temp for upwards of 20 minutes. I'm also told that serving it with a side of sour cream is amazing, but I eat mine as is. Set a skillet on the stove over medium heat and melt 2 tablespoons of butter. Get a bunch of baby potatoes and slice them in half, then arrange them cut side down in the melted butter. Season with salt and pepper plus whatever herbs and spices strike your fancy. My favorites are garlic powder and either paprika or rosemary. Cover and cook over medium heat for 5 to 6 minutes or until fork tender. Stir and serve. Suan la tu dosi, or sour and spicy shredded potatoes. It's a Szechuan, Chinese, dish, simple to make, absolutely delicious. Or a good old hash brown. Potato chips or fritters. Fried with onions. Home fries with hollandaise sauce, a-okay. Chips. from the chippy, on a Friday night. Loads of salt and vinegar eaten from the paper as you walk home from the pub, with loads of crispy bits stuck to the paper at the bottom. Cut them in a spiral and fry them like several large, homemade potato chips. I love hash browns. For me, I like cheesy potato casseroles. I'm all about those funeral potatoes bitches. I first look for the biggest, longest, dirtiest potato I can find. Grab it with my big strong hands and spit on it to show it how dirty of a potato it is. I grab a sponge and bathe the potato in clean water, peel it completely naked, then lube it with butter, hot liquid butter. Pour it everywhere. I take my big knife and penetrate it and go deep. I split the potato in half and then penetrate it over and over again. I can barely think straight. All that's running in my head is how hungry I am. Take all my little potatoes to bed in a cage-like dungeon of my own creation. After that, I drown them in oil to the point where they're dancing and touching one another. I watch as they have their royal orgy. Just watch. When I get to my breaking point, I forcefully throw them out of their cage as they lay there helpless. I salt all over their bodies. TL, doctor, I like French fries.